Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Child Care Director's Chair, where Erica Saccoccio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Child Care Director's Chair.
Hello, and welcome to the Child Care Director's Chair. I'm your host, Erica Saccoccio, and if this is your first time tuning into our channel, we'd like to say welcome. If you are a returning listener, we'd like to say thank you. So we talk a lot about hiring staff and onboarding staff and finding the right people on your team, but what happens when it is time to let someone go? Nothing about that is fun. And it's certainly not anything any of us enjoy, but it is necessary. Hopefully less frequently than hiring. But, they say hire slow and fire fast. And in this particular field, I think that there's probably something to be said for that. So let's talk about navigating the delicate process of terminating a child care employee. So one of the most challenging aspects of your role may involve the difficult situations such as terminating an employee. While firing an employee is never an easy task, it is sometimes necessary to ensure the well-being and safety of the children in your care. Sometimes it isn't the safety of the children at all, but maybe it's someone who just isn't the right fit. And in this informative episode, we will outline a step-by-step approach to help you navigate the delicate process of terminating a child care employee to ensure professionalism, empathy, and compliance with legal and ethical standards. First off is you want to prioritize the well-being of children. After all, your primary responsibility is to ensure the safety and happiness of the children in your care. If you have identified an employee whose actions or behavior pose a risk to children, it's critical to take prompt action. By addressing the issue promptly, you're safeguarding the well-being of the children and maintaining the trust of your parents. Now, sometimes it isn't the welfare of the children at all, but the integrity of the program. Maybe they're stealing. Maybe they're lying. Maybe they're falsifying documents. Maybe they're, not being a good role model outside of your program. I mean, there's many reasons why you may have somebody leave the job. Maybe they're just not up to the task. Maybe if you have, an app, a parent app, and they're not able to do the job responsibilities and functions of their job, and you've trained them and retrained them and have had them come into the office and talk to them about what needs to be improved, and it's still not improving. Sometimes it's those scenarios as well. So you have to really, think about, are they the right fit? And most programs do a 90-day probationary period where they have an employee come, because it's hard from an interview or having somebody work a couple weeks in your program. It really takes about 90 days or so to make sure that they're, one, the right fit, two, they understand your core values and mission, three, they're able to do the job and follow, rules and compliance and safety. They're able to, supervise correctly and change a diaper correctly and do their professional development, all the things that you need them to do. So that leads to the next thing, is gathering concrete evidence. Before proceeding with termination process, it's essential that you gather concrete evidence to support your decision. Document specific incidences, observations, or any other relevant information that demonstrates the employee's inability to meet the required standards or adherence to your child care policies. This evidence will help you present a clear case during the termination process, ensuring fairness and transparency. And also, if you have that documentation, I have no problem giving a copy of that to the terminated employee. They should have access to those records just like you do, and try to be as transparent as possible. At the end of the day, most states are an employment at will. Rhode Island is an employment at will. And at the end of 90 days, if I don't feel somebody's the right fit, we part ways. And, you really have to make sure that you have your documentation in place. The next thing is review employment contracts and policies. Before taking any action, you want to thoroughly review the employee's contract and your child care center's policies and familiarize yourself with the termination procedures outlined in the contract and ensure that you are following the appropriate legal and ethical guidelines. Adhering to these protocols will help you protect both your children and the child care center and the employee involved. Some of the things on there might be a breach of confidentiality or the way that they use Facebook. There's multiple reasons why you may decide to terminate somebody. But whatever those reasons are, make sure that you have them in writing. Make sure that you've addressed them. And the other thing is, make sure that if you have to call a private meeting, which we'll talk about next, you involve somebody in your HR department. Allow them to bring a representative as well if they find that that's necessary. I always believe in allowing that space to be a safe space for everybody. So schedule a private meeting. Once you've gathered your evidence and you reviewed the documentation necessary, schedule a private meeting with the employee. Choose a neutral and comfortable location where you can discuss the situation without interruptions. Approach the meeting with empathy and understanding and a commitment to professionalism. So I have an HR person at my place of business, and anytime I need to have a sensitive conversation where I need a non-biased person, I ask HR to come in. That also helps if you have to go to any type of unemployment court or any type of court situations. You have another person in the room who can, be a witness as to what was said and that it was handled fairly. So make sure that you have somebody within your company that can be that supportive person for you. The next thing is communicate clearly and honesty. During the meeting, communicate your concerns and the reasons behind your decision in a clear and honest manner. Provide specific examples and refer to the documented evidence to support your points. It's essential to be respectful and empathetic and acknowledge the employee's feelings while remaining firm in your decision. And I've had to do that a couple times. And as somebody who is an owner of a program, I do have leadership who works under me. And so when they get, to a point where they say, I really feel like XYZ should be terminated, my first thing is, have you documented your concerns? Have you met about those concerns? Have you provided additional training, or are they things that that aren't trainable? So it really just depends on the situation. But typically, I wouldn't let somebody go on something that isn't really a safety thing, but maybe more of a protocol thing. And then, meet with them, retrain them, have a conversation about your concern, and then go from there. If it continues to happen, then obviously you would need to let them go. Calling out a lot could be one of those reasons, right? Or for support and resources. While terminating an employee is undoubtedly challenging, it's crucial to offer support and resources during this difficult time. Provide information on unemployment benefits, job placement services, or other resources that may assist the employee in finding alternative employment. By demonstrating empathy and compassion, it can help soften the impact of the termination and maintain a positive reputation for your center. Now, not everybody is always going to be happy with your decisions, and you have to understand that. But if you feel that your policies are broken or the person is not a right fit, then it is time to let them go. Because again, it also impacts your whole team. And then lastly, inform the students and the parents. Once the termination process is complete, it's essential to inform your staff and parents about the change. Communicate the decision appropriately, ensuring confidentiality and professionalism. Assure the parents that your child's safety was at the top of their mind. Their well-being will remain top priority. and emphasize your commitment to maintaining a high standard of care. Handling the termination of a child care employee, it's challenging. It's a task that requires careful consideration and adherence to legal and ethical standards. By following the steps outlined in today's episode, child care directors can navigate this delicate process with professionalism, empathy, and transparency. And remember, your ultimate goal is to ensure the safety and well-being of the children in your care, while also providing support and resources to the terminated employee during the transition time. I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode. I know that it is a little bit of a tricky topic and one that no one likes, but we have to talk about it, so here we are. Thank you for tuning in to the Child Care Director's Chair. Thank you. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Child Care Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your child care centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Child Care Director's Chair.